There are new developments tonight in the battle between the state of Ohio and a central Ohio man who owns 5 tigers.
The Department of Agriculture is moving closer to seizing Mike Stapleton's tigers, telling him he has failed to meet the letter of law and must now quarantine his cats. Tonight, NBC4 anchor and lead investigator Dwayne Pullman continues his ongoing exclusive investigation. Private tigers. Dwayne?
Look, from the moment the state began to pressure Mike Stapleton to legally permit his 5 tigers or surrender them, Stapleton has talked on camera with only one station, NBC4, and with only one television reporter, me. Now, as the state moves closer to finally taking his cats, Stapleton is promising a very real showdown.
Is the state of Ohio going to get your tigers?
No, they're not.
Mike Stapleton is preparing for a showdown.
They're not leaving here.
With the state of Ohio over his 5 full-grown tigers.
I did not capture, I did not trap them, anything like that.
They were born in captivity.
They were born in captivity.
And they remain in captivity, living in this pole barn and small fenced-in area on Stapleton's property, just outside the small town of Waldo. Ohio passed a comprehensive law requiring private owners be registered and certified. Stapleton has been trying to exempt himself from the law by getting certified as an animal sanctuary. But after nearly 3 years, Stapleton is still not close to falling within Ohio's new law.
They've been trampling my rights from the beginning.
In April, as NBC4 investigated, the state sent a letter informing Stapleton he had just 30 days to comply with Ohio's wild, dangerous animal law or surrender his tigers. Since then, the letters continue to come, including this one, where the Department of Agriculture orders Stapleton to quarantine his cats.
My animals, basically, according to the law, have always been quarantined.
And this one, in which the state clearly writes that Stapleton has failed to submit an application and still does not possess any type of valid permit for possession. Stapleton has until July 31st to request a hearing.
The law, as written by the state, says they will get your tigers.
And I'm here to inform them they're wrong.
Stapleton, who openly talks about his rights, is slowly working on an enlarged fenced-in refuge for his tigers. But he's many weeks away from finishing that and complying with the law.
What if these agents of the state show up?
I can't say anything like that.
What is it?
I can't talk about that.
Nothing dangerous is going to happen
No,
here.
no, it's all legality.
A reference to taking this to court. Ohio's Department of Agriculture did issue a statement to me today, making it very clear. In part, a spokesperson wrote, the application deadline under the Dangerous Wild Animal Act has passed. Therefore, Mr. Stapleton cannot obtain a permit from the department for his animals. You can read the Department of Agriculture's full statement online at NBC4i.com. Unless Stapleton can get that exemption or a reprieve here, the state intends to move, and a showdown is virtually guaranteed. We'll be there every step of the way. You can join our conversation, by the way, on our Facebook page.
Breaking news from NBC4.
We begin with breaking news this midday. Tigers held in captivity on a farm as pets are now on their way to Reynoldsburg. These are live pictures this midday from Chopper 4, which is flying over that farm in Waldo.
As you can see, the compound that used to house those tigers now sits empty this midday.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for NBC4 Midday. I'm Mike Jackson.
I'm Katie Farrell. After dozens of officers swooped in this morning, a showdown was averted after a Waldo man agreed to surrender his tigers. NBC4's Dwayne Pullman has been investigating this showdown over the Waldo tigers for months. He joins us now live at the compound in Marion County with the very latest.
Yeah, it's really a remarkable scene. Look over here. These cages, which housed tigers for the past decade in rural Marion County, they're empty. The tigers are gone. Now, those 5 tigers, which were privately owned by Mike Stapleton, were drugged, loaded up, and hauled away by the Ohio Department of Agriculture. It was a remarkable scene. Dozens of officers, state and local, swooping in here around 7 this morning. 7:30, getting a knock on the door. Mr. Stapleton, we've been covering him all year. He had promised that he would fight the state every step along the way. He has certainly done that. He also said that he would not surrender the tigers. But after the show of force today, those tigers were voluntarily surrendered by Mike Stapleton. Mike Stapleton is here near the cages where you've been taking care of the tigers for many, many years. First of all, describe the scene that you had out here when the agents came in.
Well, I got, and as soon as I looked out and seen the white trucks, I knew who it was and what they were here for.
SWAT team, you said?
Yeah, they had their emergency service teams with them.
Okay, and you had been talking to me. We've done many stories. You said, I am not going to voluntarily surrender my tigers. No way, no how. Yet today you signed the paperwork. Why?
Yes, today I signed them over to the state. Due to the legality and the amount of money that I've already spent, and with policy, if you look in the law and read the law, if I keep this up and force them to give the warrant today, they could possibly lay all this expense on my property tax.
Mike, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to do that, obviously, but we will do that later. Reports coming up, 5 and 6, live in rural Marion County. I'm Dwayne Pullman, NBC4.